In this week's blog, I'm going to show you a couple of plugins that I found and was introduced to that you use with the GNU image manipulation program, commonly known as Gimp. Now you can download Gimp for free. It's like Photoshop, but you can run it on Windows, Macintosh, and Linux. So the plugins I'm going to show you today are Elsamuko, which is a bunch of scripts which adjust the image. So we can see here's the original photos here, and here's these different scripts that run over it. So Lomo makes it look more like 16mm film. You can actually put this overlay on it so it looks like film. You can copy the color palette from one image to the next. The next one is called Resynthesizer, and a really cool part of this is it does a thing called liquid scaling and healing. So I'll just show you the scaling examples over here. You can take a 4:3 aspect ratio image here and scale it to be big, and you'll notice that her face hasn't stretched or anything because it's really intelligent scaling. And I'll give you the link to this page. Watch this video at the end that explains the algorithm, and you'll be blown away at how intelligent it is. Right, so let's go back to a photo. So I got this photo when I was in Hollywood, and the reason I don't like it is because I'm too low and the Hollywood sign's in the middle, but it makes me look kind of short, and the color isn't that cool. I'm a little bit overweight, but that's okay. But now let's do some changes on it. So first I'm just going to zoom in. And I want to use the liquid rescaler. So if I go layer, liquid rescale. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a preservation mask over me and the Hollywood sign. So when it scales, it doesn't sort of make me look even wider than I already am or break up the Hollywood sign. So I just go new, and I'm just going to use my paintbrush tool. And all I do is I just draw over Hollywood and then draw over me. Don't have to be too accurate. So what this liquid rescaler is going to do is when it sees this drawing over me, it's going to go, oh, this is really important. I'm not going to stretch that too much. But it also has a look at all of the lines in the image and how it flows together, and it chooses the best way that it should rescale. So over here, if it says, well, all this stuff's the same, it'll just duplicate it and stretch it out, and I'll show you what that looks like soon. So we go OK, and then we want to rescale it. So I'm going to rescale it to 1200 by 600 and press OK. And it's doing its job. And if I press 1, firstly I'll just hide that mask there. And if we scroll over a bit, now it's all stretched out. And as you can see, I still look the same, and so does the Hollywood logo there. I've just noticed that there's this little person down here. So if I zoom in a little bit. Oops. Oh, because 20%, not 200. So we can see this little person down there. I don't want them anymore. So I'll use, I think in Photoshop it's called something like heal. But in here, it's called smart remove selection. And we go 100, which is the default. And now if I get rid of that mask, wow, that person has magically disappeared. And let's zoom back out. Now I want to change the coloring because it's a bit bland. So I'll go back over to my filters. And we go to, which one was it? Light and shadow, Lomo. And this will make it look more like a film with really cool lighting and all that sort of stuff. And as you can see, it's doing a lot of work on the right-hand side, creating all these different layers and putting transparencies and fades on them. And now it looks like that. And I want to make it look even more filmy because it's Hollywood. So I'll go filters, actually not combine. There's another one in here, a decor photo with sprockets. And so now it actually looks like it's a piece of film. So again, here's the original, all tall and sort of bland, and here's the new one, CinemaScope sort of wide, and it looks a lot more like film. So those are some really cool free plugins that you can download for GIMP. Of course, if you're using Brinix, they're installed by default.